All right, welcome to the 5280 Legion at Rocky Mountain Open. Um, we're getting set up here. We for our round one matchup today. We have Will Wilhelm versus Tim. So we got some Stabcast people here playing for you on the stream for our round one. I will let you know for our viewers, round one, there will be definitely some technical problem solving here on the stream. So, round one is our setup. So don't, let me actually, what do we got? They are going to. Let me set up the actual. Don't ignore the scoreboard for the moment. We're just going to set that up real quick. Why is that timer going? Don't ask me. So we are playing with the GT rules with variable time. So just to let you know, that timer on the screen is approximate. All right, so how about, can we just get a sound check? Hopefully you guys can actually hear what I'm saying, right? All right, sweet. Thank you. Thank you, other Stabcast person. I'm not 100% sure if that. So let's see. We have Tim playing Separatists versus Will playing some mercenaries, some black, some Shadow Collective. That's what they're called. It is still too early in the morning for me to be thinking. Sorry, did I say Separatists? I think I meant Republic. Yep. Right, so here we are in lovely Front Range, Colorado. We are setting up. They are doing, we have Recover the Research and Recon Mission is what it looks like they're going for. So let's do a quick rundown. Let's see. So I got Tim's list open. It says no, it's not 501st is what he's got. The Grand Army of the Republic. with a clone Captain Rex, an Anakin Skywalker, the clone trooper infantry with a mortar. We have, it's like 3 clone trooper infantry with the mortars. We have ARC troopers, more ARC troopers, ARC trooper with 5s. Then an ARF troopers, and then 2 strike teams. So this will be fun to see. Get some strike teams back on the table after last, 2 weeks ago, the rules update and the points change that actually, brought them the potential. We'll have to see how they do. They do have that automatic wound on a crit, which is really spicy, but we'll have to see how well that plays out. So Tim is just checking out some deployment options, it looks like. Is he... So he's setting up his prepared positions snipers. I'm going to have to pull up the... I'm going to pull up the actual app because I do not. Yeah, with all the new cards, nobody knows what the cards do these days. So we're going to have to do some investigating. It's always fun to try to go to an event, run an event, or help host an event right after a big update because it's very confusing. So, looks like we have our prepared positions set up. It's like Tim is setting up those on the towers there, the buildings. Let's look at some good line of sight, and right there next to the right next to those points of interest. And we have a classic, the 2-pip Maul play, or is that just a divulge? I think they're both divulging cards. So sounds like Rook, Cast, and Maul are getting the orders on the one side, and on the other side, well, a lot of people are getting orders. So Tim has a couple of his units set up on the with prepared positions, but it looks like it will be Will that is first to play. He pulls a naked pike from the bag and will be deploying that. Looks like he's running up behind that building. And Tim passes. Yes, they are sticking their Stabcast has decided to advertise on my stream by making all of their point of interest markers Stabcast markers. Gee, thanks for that, guys. Alright, so apparently I'm coming through a little quiet, but we can just adjust that. Oh, right, let's see about that. Unless, I just suddenly start blowing out the mic or something. Good. All right. The volume knob does actually do something. Good. So I actually am not 100% sure what Tim's advantage is. I haven't gone and looked at that. Let me see. Okay, his coordinated strike is what he's got, so I will update the scoreboard. Looks like Will is saying that he's pulled a bus, but he's not terribly happy that he's pulled the bus, so it looks like an improvised orders is going to some Mandalorians. And now those snipers are actually showing their worth, because it'd be really rough to get to have those Mandos get pulled off by those snipers, but he can't shoot the snipers with the rockets because they're incognito. So really that already those sniper squads are doing something, as they are forcing those Mandos to hide behind a building and play pretty cagey. So, Will's list is Maul with Burst of Speed and Force Choke, Tenacity, and the Dark Saber. We've got a pike capo with improvised orders. We have 4 naked pikes. We have a Black Sun Enforcer squad with the scattergun and the Black Sun Vigo. Then we have 3 squads of super commandos with the just an extra Mandalorian super commando, nothing special, plus the combat shields and the jetpack rockets. Then we've got another Mandalorian super commando with Rook cast, combat shields and jetpack rockets, and then we have the AA-5 with Backworld medic. Let's see, Tim is pushing some arcs forward, it looks like. ARFs. And if we look over at his list, pull open his list, and those ARF troopers look like they have the Duo and Clone Commander Cody on them. Oh, Will's getting so bored that he's looking at his phone during the match. Come on. He's got some emotional support with him there. Very important. We've got some arcs coming onto the board. Scout, move, and it looks like they're going to move again to hide behind that central building. Arcs, obviously, you know, they're famous for their crazy agility. So let's see how well this works. It's recover the research. Ah, that's not bad. Okay, so you can kind of see the deployment and the and approximately where the points of interest are currently. I'll give you a quick idea. All right, get rid of that. I can tell you, I did not have time to set up everything for the new objectives with that fancy thing, so I'm glad they're playing a older objective to be able to throw the overlay up there like that. As soon as someone brings in the new objective, I'll have to set that one up to do the overlay, but So yeah, reminder: those sniper teams, they have auto wound if they don't move. They can auto wound on a crit. So aim and shoot is and as long as they get a crit, they can just remove all of the hits. And if they removed at least one crit, then it auto wounds. But that would get rid of their incognito. So it looks like he has started off as a dodge standby for that first sniper team, choosing not to try to take a shot at that naked pikes up at the top left, which makes sense. It's, peeling one pike, maybe two, doesn't seem like a great trade to lose that incognito, because he's dealing with several squads of Mandalorians with rockets that still need to come on. And if one of those snipers decides not to be incognito, they will probably just get annihilated by rockets immediately. Oops, that's my fault on the stream. My bad. Okay, there, we're back. My apologies, I didn't think, yeah. I didn't think that would immediately work. Will was playing a little bit risky in that he did not actually give his transported squad an order, meaning that if he pulled them before he pulled the bus again, then he would have to deploy them and wouldn't be able to transport them. But he did just pull the bus, so I think he's happy that he's gotten the bus right now. So yeah, we are playing Recover the Research. So they each have 3 objectives on the board, for a total of 6 objectives, 3 on Will's side and 3 on Tim's side. If they contest 1, if they contest 2 labs, they get 1. If they contest 2 points of interest, they get 1 point. If they contest 3 points of interests, they get 2 points. And if they contest 4 or more, they get 3 victory points at the end of the round. And of course, recon mission is the classic, they each chose a unit to get a scanner asset, and then starting in the second round, At the end of an activation where that unit has a scanner asset, they get a point if that unit is within line of sight and range 2 of 2 or more enemies. Each player can only score a maximum of 1 victory point this way, so even if you steal your enemy's victory point, enemy's scanner, you can still only score 1. Looks like that is an ARC squad that is charging up the right side of the board, being fairly dangerous. Oh, wrong button. I meant to do this. There we go. Oh, hey, Joe, you're on. It's your birthday, isn't it? Maybe, yeah. Don't ask me to sing. Looks like we are getting an attack. Yeah, it's a... That's a pretty healthy dice pool there. I didn't actually get a chance to see who was attacking. Oh, it's the Black Sun. Yeah, it's the Black Sun who came out of that bus. Look like they are aiming and shooting at... I believe it's at this squad here. So he dodges one from the native dodge, steals a dodge from a friendly, and is still looking at 4 Pierce 1 from that Black Sun. Black Sun, very nasty. It looks like one of them went off the screen there, but I can see it's looks like the roll was a block, 2 surges, and a blank. Or it must have been, I think it was 2 blocks, a surge and a blank, and then spent a surge token, and then that Pierce went through, so he lost 2. So, losing only 2 guys from Black Sun hopping out of a bus and dumping a whole bunch of dice at you. That's not too bad. Now he's going to check about if he can, what the best way to punish those Black Sun. Looks like he's bringing on some arcs. It's going to be a scout, move, and shoot is what it looks like from those arcs. Right, we get those arcs firing into some Black Sun. It's not a great roll. It's a lot of blanks, but they're arcs, so they've got plenty of aims to work with. And by that I mean I think they've got 2 and they can possibly steal a 3rd. It is interesting that these arcs do not have precision scopes, so he's just rolling 2 a pop. So it looks like he was trying to decide whether to steal an aim from a friendly or steal a surge from a friendly. The math said to steal an aim, but then he blanked it. Cover doesn't give him any help, and he pulls a surge, but that was a less than stellar attack roll was met by a less than stellar defense roll, which, you can't, seems fair enough, and he loses 2 Black Sun. If you want to asking my opinion about what the favored matchup is, I honestly think I gotta give it to the Republic here as the favored. I mean, how the strike teams perform is definitely going to be a big variable. They're already forcing the Mandalorians to play cagier than I think the Mandalorians would like to play. But we still have Anakin to come out. We still have Rex, but Anakin, I think, is just such a powerhouse. And looking at Will's side of the board, he has a lot of firepower, all just put into that Mandalorian bucket. And I think a few bad dice rolls is all it's going to take for Will's attacks to go from reasonable to just down, just dead. Particularly since he was pretty kind of aggressive with those Black Sun early, and now Tim is trying to chip away at those Black Sun as much as possible. Looks like he is pulling out some more forces along that center line. Yeah, the Mando versus Strike Team matchup is definitely an interesting one, and sort of might end up being like who blinks first. Because as long as those Strike Teams are incognito, they're safe. But as soon as the Mandos pop out, that's a very tempting target to get a couple free or a couple wounds on them. Because those strike teams can definitely peel away Mandalorians hard, but as soon as they do, those Mandalorians will hit back with a vengeance. So I believe this is a if I check the list, I believe this is the Clone Trooper Infantry, the Mortar Clone Troopers, into the Black Sun with a bit of critical in there. Cover's gonna peel 2. Oh, 3, sorry. Cover's gonna. That was a good cover roll. But those crits get through and just totally. Yeah, that Black Sun is not. Their defense rolls are not holding up. So that Black Sun has did not do as much as it would have liked on attack and is melting really fast on defense. So that's let's get those dice out of there. So now we're seeing Maul coming onto the board. So Will has 3 Super Commando squads, actually a total of 4 Super Commando squads with rockets. So yeah, at most, like doing those auto wounds from the snipers, they can peel 2 Mandos from 1 squad, guaranteed. But then the response will be just an absolute hail of rocket fire. And even just 2 rockets could take out those commandos with those strike teams because of the blast. I mean, it would take some poor rolling on the defense part, but we've seen it. Those Black Sun have already done pretty poor rolling on the defense. That is Anakin, who just came onto the board and decided to hop up onto a building. The question is Anakin close enough to those guys for Anakin to get Guardian if he gets shot? It doesn't look like it to me. That is a consideration. To get, sorry, I didn't mean Guardian, I meant backup. I think Tim is already regretting his placement of Anakin, which I think I might have to agree with him about regretting that replacement. It seems Anakin seems fairly on the edge of the board right now, which means depending on how Will decides to play it, could, a Force user on the edge of the board, it kind of means that you can play around him, play away from him, and not give him opportunities to show his true strength. And this Anakin does not have burst of speed on him, so that just makes getting him back into the middle that much harder. Oh yeah, AMG knows how to market stuff. Oh, Maul's coming out with a show. Well, then we're gonna, make him better, cheaper. I just think with that show, I really want them to throw in a squad of Knight Brothers into Shadow Collective, especially with that big old repeater gun. What was that, a Z6? It looks like. Looks like we are cleaning up and moving into round 2. So the round 1 casualties, a small number of casualties on Tim's side in those, in his clone mortar troopers. One squad lost 2, and that Black Sun squad got hit really hard, to the point where it started with 6, and I think it's now just down to the leader. We are choosing cards. So the advantage I think that Will has right now is Maul is excellently placed to just run, charge in, and do some serious damage. Looks like we have a 3-pip versus, I can't quite tell what card that is. We are not programmed, that's what it is. So it looks like Will is going to have priority. So he's got orders on the bus, Maul, and then that squad of that Brookcast Commandos, I think, who are sitting on top of that building. Just a reminder that the timer in the bottom right is an approximate, as we are playing with unknown times. So we're not entirely sure how much time is left in the round, but somewhere around there. That is specifically designed so that players cannot specifically play to time and try to run out the clock. So now, with Recon Mission, we have that starting now. So Maul is definitely going to have a feast of choices whenever he decides to jump up the center there. He does have burst of speed, and I think with the Anakin placement, Maul is feeling really safe for at least a couple rounds. So I still kind of think that Anakin placement was a little questionable, but definitely doing considerations for where to move, because Maul is currently somewhat vulnerable from the Arc squad on the right side. Right, this squad over here has a pretty good shot on Maul hiding back here. And so it looks like he might be wanting to move Maul early. Yeah, Maul is just double moving in. And it looks like Maul also has that secondary, so at the end of his activation, will score a point. I think that's what that other token is there. That Maul will score a point for that secondary, so Maul's attack. So 4 Pierce 2 into that squad of ARFs. Looks like they're sharing a dodge to bring it down to 3. Sorry, these overlay things and the chroma keys are always very finicky. I'm trying to get the settings right so that you can see the dice without blurriness all over. So that ARC squad got hit pretty hard. The problem is, I don't know if... You know? Yeah, I'm wondering, I didn't see him measure. It doesn't look like Maul is close enough to that objective to get, to score that center objective. So that would look like a rally roll for the squad that got shot previously. So yeah, because of that secondary, yeah, Maul, as I thought, does have that secondary, meaning that Will has scored a point. Oh, update the round counter too. Looks like we're going to have some Mandos coming around the corner to try to whack those arcs. Yeah, Will was wondering if he was going to pull, and he did pull those guys, and so he's happy. He's happy that he got the pull from the bag that he wanted. If I'm allowed to pontificate, which since I'm sitting in the chair and I have the microphone, I think I am. Yeah, I think a lot of it's going to come down to that Anakin placement. Just Anakin is currently too far on that side of the board. I don't know what he's going to do, particularly in the early game. So arcs are stealing a dodge to take a hit from those Mandos from 5 down to 4. And then he's going to roll. It's a perfectly average roll, and looks like losing 2 arcs. Actually, are those arcs? Or those might be... I might have been lying to you. Those are arcs. It's always difficult to tell various clones apart on stream. So we have those ARFs that Maul attacked. They are just pulling away, which seems pretty reasonable. They are going to expose Maul and move up and to contest that center point, which seems perfectly reasonable for both things. So those Naked Pikes are just moving forward to do what Naked Pikes do and just contest the objective, get a dodge, and yeah, if you can't... What just happened? Sorry, some of my things are freaking out at the moment. Microsoft is doing weird things. Okay, we're back. So yeah, we're looking at, there is an objective over on this side. If you have a hard time seeing it, it's there. So it looks like we are moving forward to contest the center objective. So another reminder, with the incognito on those strike teams, they cannot contest as long as they are incognito. But at the beginning of their activation, they can choose to drop incognito, which allows them to contest, but also makes them vulnerable to fire. So it looks like those strike teams do have orders on them. So I figure that Tim's plan is to try to get them to go after the threat of the Mando rockets has come off, and then just start picking things off and contesting at the same time. Judge. Right. Looks like Tim is gathering up some dice for an attack, but it looks like he's having to... It's a large enough attack, apparently, that he looks like he's having to pull some dice out of his backup supply. So that ARC squad, they've got 6 dudes in the squad, so that's 12 dice with tons of aims. A lot of paint. A lot of paint on that one. We have a few surges, but mostly that's just a good shot. I know, on this camera it is a little... Alright, so far he's got 5 hits, 4 surges that are just kind of hanging out. So it is always sad to see a pile of surges that he's got to get rid of because they don't surge, but he did spend a surge from a nearby clone trooper squad. And so it looks like we've got 5 hits into Maul. 1 goes through and 1 goes back. So that was a good defensive roll for Maul, but he's now to 2 wounds out of 6. But you've got that witch magic in the bag. If that Maul survives, he can heal a little bit. Yeah, I would not be surprised if he forgets that they don't count towards points of interest. That's a tricky one. I only remember that one because I used to play Cassian a lot, and that matters on Cassian. That specifically matters with K2, I should say. But if you're bringing Cassian back then, you brought K2. But I think it's probably not going to matter because I feel like at the end of this round, he's going to want to save those guys for the end of the round, and then he's going to want to start sniping. Maul in particular, if he can get Maul to 4 out of 6 wounds then before those snipers go, then those snipers will be very happy to just go crazy. Actually, let me double check. I might be lying to you again. Right. Yeah. So that sniper is actually range 2 to 5. So currently, the closer ARC trooper cannot snipe Maul. But the other squad could, and going against a Force user is a great time to use that. The disrespect from the Pikes of just shrugging off an attack, but that's what Pikes do. I don't even think he just dodged a couple of them. Dodge a couple of them, block the other one. Yeah, that's just... So usually what people do is for the recon mission, you put the scanner on your Force user, which Will has done with Maul. The question is, I don't see exactly where it is on Tim's side. If he did put it on Anakin, as is, shall we say, the common thing to do, then he's going to be a little bit behind on trying to score that secondary, simply because, again, Anakin is kind of out of position. Anakin is moving up the field, so yeah, like... So Anakin double moves. So looks like that was just a dodge standby from the Pikes behind the building. like Tim, with the way Tim was measuring, it looked like he might be eager to. Sounds like he might be eager to finish off that squad of Black Sun that only has one guy left, or take a shot at those Mandos. I heard it might actually be split firing, but no, that looks like. I think this is the squad that. Ooh, cover is doing a lot of work there. So taking up, shot at a squad of Pikes. Was that Pikes, it looks like? Yeah. And took one. And there is that squad of Black Sun, which I feel like Tim is going to wish that he'd peeled off. The rally roll still gets one move, and it looks like he's going to be pretty brave and run forward, because that's what he's measuring to see if he can contest that. Well, he's contesting, but he's not going to be able to secure it. But I think he's tempting. I think his play here is he's really tempting the. And he is providing bait for those snipers to remove incognito, and so that he can hit him back. But that sniper rifle being range 2 to 5 does mean that that center sniper is not going to be able to shoot Maul or that Black Sun there. Unless I'm judging the distance wrong. So we've got Clone Captain Rex is moving over a little bit to contest that center, and then now is going to decide. It looks like Clone Captain Rex actually has the scanner, so he's trying to get to the point where he can, because the concern, let's see, or maybe he's setting up for something next round. Rex moving forward, that does put him at a bit of a dangerous position, because now he is vulnerable to a lot of Will's stuff. And the triple block. That triple block. For just another suppression on Maul. And then for the gunslinger shot onto. Onto the bus. So onto the bus, looks like armor peels good amount, but it takes one away. And he takes one wound onto the bus. So not what Tim wanted to see on Maul. Yeah, Maul should definitely, by the odds, Maul should definitely have a fair amount more wounds on him. Probably at least 2 more wounds on him. The dice are definitely helping Will's Maul defend after a pretty aggressive turn 2 top of the round charge. So, we have some Mandalorians moving up and coming in for the attack on a squad of Arcs, the 6-man squad of Arcs. That's a good roll. Anytime you see paint on white, you kind of consider like, okay, that's not a bad roll. And then re-rolling the red, of course, into the hit. Does he have a surge available? He has those. But he does have those tokens available on his command card, and he is spending them here. Looks like he spent aims and surges and everything, a lot. So he's got quite a heavy hit, and it doesn't look like there's any cover. So, it's not a bad roll. Definitely a very good attack roll and not a bad defense roll, but we're going to see a good number go down. I didn't see if it was 2 or 3. Yeah, so that's half the squad. And with the deflect from before, so it started as a 6-man squad, is now down to a 2-man squad. So it does look like the sniper is choosing to take a shot. So, it looks like he does choose to cancel all the dice to get 1 guaranteed hit on those pikes over there. And then load up some suppression. So I'm not entirely sure what happened there, actually. It sounds like I'm hearing what they're saying a little bit, and it sounds like he chose to cancel dice because he forgot. But it sounds like he forgot that he has high velocity. He was worried about the dodges, but that sniper shot has high velocity on it, so he couldn't have used the dodges. So we're taking... Sounds like they're discussing the minutia of how that thing works. But yeah, that sniper team did just choose to cancel the hits and just wipe out that remaining black sun, which makes sense considering that that sniper gun doesn't have any pierce. So it looks like the bus healed a pipe back. Showing off his nice base work. And yeah, unfortunately that bus mini is a little bit longer than the base, so the mini itself was getting in the way where the base wasn't getting in the way. So had to pull off that miniature. So the question of whether or not Tim remembers that they don't contest while incognito is now moot because they're no longer incognito. But I do think he forgot that they have high velocity. So now I do think that we are going to see some rockets being fired from these guys into those guys pretty soon. So yeah, the question was going to be, did the rockets get fired first, or did the snipers lose incognitos first? And the snipers have lost incognito first. We've got some rockets firing into, I think it was either the Arc Squad or the Mortar Squad. I didn't quite see which one he was pointing to. Since they're talking about cover, it sounds like it's the one behind the barricade. Or, I mean, that suppression. Looks like he stole a dodge, rolling on 3, loses 2. And I think that's the squad. So, looks like that ARC squad is down. One of them went to a Darth Maul deflect, then 3 of them went to Mandalorians just shooting, and then the final 2 go to Mandalorian rockets. So, that other ARC squad rallies. And looks like they're going to pull forward and probably take some shots on the Maul, is what it looks like. That's my guess. Yep. It's a pretty decent shot, and he'll have an aim to spend from tactical. Rolling that now. For another 2 hits. Good aim conversion. So, Maul is going to be rolling 6. This could be big. He's rolled pretty well so far. But that sounds like it's time for the pendulum to swing the other way. He's got 2 out of 6 wounds on him right now. That was the first one, and he's... oh, but no, it is a good roll. It is a good roll again. And it looks like he just takes 2, and the arcs take 1. So actually, I think it was a total of 7 hits there.
Is that linked in the Discord?
I think so it looks like we're getting some more Mando rockets into, I'm assuming, let's see. So the question is he shooting into the arcs, or, oh, it looks like he's shooting into that, again, no cover, just the roll, and it looks like that is 2, and that, there goes the strike squad. The sniper team is instantly vaporized by Mandos. They said, here we are, and just died. That is why snipers like to hide. So we are cleaning up for round 2. They are scoring. And remember, in Recover the Research, you only have to contest to score. So I'm looking at what they've reported as their score, and I'm wondering how that works. Okay, so it looks like Tim is contesting 4, so he gets 3 points. And it looks like he didn't, oh, that's it. He didn't mark it earlier, but he did score that secondary. And then so they both scored the secondary. So Maul does the witch magic to heal, and we have Call Me Captain. So that allows Maul to pull 2 wounds off himself. So he went from 4 wounds to 2 wounds there. So, yes, for scoring for last round. So Tim contested this point. No, we're going to try a different color. So Tim was contesting this point. Oh, that's terrible. Let's just try. None of those. Okay, we're back to white. What? Why did that not work? Right. Okay. Sorry. So Tim is contesting 1, 2, 3, 4, and Will is contesting 1, 2, 3, because it looks like his Maul is just a little bit out here. So Will scored 2. So last round, Will scored 1 on the secondary, 2 on the primary. Tim scored 1 on the secondary and 3 on the primary. And Tim gets first to go, and he also gets that Call Me Captain extra red dice. It's a pretty good roll. So that was, looks like Maul took 3 more hits because Maul's defense dice are doing quite hot. And he is back up to 5 out of 6 wounds, it sounds like. Yeah, that was it's a good looking bus he's got. It's a nice clean bus with a cool base. The bus model itself is a little awkward, always feel, but it makes for a great canvas to paint on. I've got 3 of them myself just because I painted various things on them. Super fun. So Maul does survive with 1 health left. So Maul is activating now. He gets a free recover from Witch Magic this round. And so all of that suppression goes away. Judge call. They're pulling over the judge to figure some stuff out. Remember, always, in 5280, in Legion in general, calling a judge is always very, very casual, very calm. So, he had eight suppression on them, gets a free recovery with 8 suppression, and all that suppression just goes away. Yeah, Witch Magic was a good card to play that round. The tricky thing, though, is since it's got 3 pips, your Maul still has to survive, and it came very close to not surviving. So it looks like Maul is going to she's going to move in and try to finish the ARFs that he was munching on earlier. I believe last time he left him with 3 guys. Rolls. Oh, that's 4 crits, I think I saw there. So 3 crits and hit. And I think that Arc Squad is pasted. And then So he moved, completely wasted the Arc Squad. Choked an Arc, and then moved into the Arc Sniper Squad. Now, that does mean that Arc Squad now, and we also have the secondary from Maul. He gets to score a point because he is in line of sight and range 2 of 2 people. So Will goes to 4 points. So it looks like we're pulling that squad. Let's see. I think it's a mortar squad. So firing into those Mandos. The Mandos just use 2 of their shields and then roll off the other one, so they're fine. Just they get some suppression. So that was an unaimed shot so that he could fire and then move up to contest that squad, to contest up there after all of the other squads got completely murderalized. Oh, right, because there was that one arc left. I forgot that they had the medic, so they healed 1 back earlier. So the one that Maul deflected earlier, the medic healed back, but Maul just choked the last one to death. So Maul's activation there took out 2 units that were contesting that center objective. So even though Tim had the early score lead after round 2, I think Will is feeling pretty confident here. His maul is getting in and has done a lot of work. Anakin is again off on that other side of the board. And I think that Maul now is contesting that center objective, but I don't think he has much health left, so Maul could die fairly easily. But if he does, he still has those Mandalorians in the center that are going to run up and contest, so I think Will is in a good position to score quite a few points this round. But of course, you can only score 3 on the primary each round, which you can do by contesting 4 points of interest. There's a good chance, though, that Will lose that upper left point of interest to an Anakin. He pulled those pikes early, which I think he really appreciates. That he is able to get another. Oh, sorry. What is that? Okay, so never mind. So he pulled those naked pikes. They just moved in to engage Anakin and took a dodge. So he's got 2 pikes on that squad, meaning that Anakin is not going to be able to pull them both off. If there was just the one, I missed that there was one hiding behind that building. So Will, I think, is looking pretty good this round. That sniper squad, it looks like did you just pull the sniper squad? So, so that absurdity, that loveliness of Call Me Captain, turns 2 dice into 5 dice in the melee into Maul. Maul, unfortunately, since he's in melee, the deflect is not happening, so he's not getting the surge, and that is going to be the end of Maul. So Maul goes down, but Maul also killed the ARF squad, the ARC squad, and soaked up a lot of firepower so that the Mandalorians are going to be able to swing in and do quite a lot of cleanup work, I think. So they're checking out how that scanner works, because Maul, this is one thing, Maul drops the scanner. So the difficult thing about that is, now Will already scored the secondary this round, but going forward it looks like Will is probably not going to be scoring his secondary. So he's really going to be leaning on that primary a lot more. Whereas Rex, it looks like still has, unless it is Anakin, I can't see who has the secondary. I don't, for Tim. They're doing some accounting as to who's contesting where, before he decides where Rex needs to go. Rex takes a move up to be able to see more, and he's going to take gunslinger shots on both those squads of Mandos. Now, the left squad earlier in the round did lose their, so it looks like this squad has already used their shields. This squad still has their shields. All right, first shot, 1 goes to cover and 2 go to shields. The other squad, another 3 hits. No cover, no shields, just rolling it. And he will lose 1 as the Beskar rolls 2/3, which is perfectly average for them. Yeah, so it does look like Rex does have Tim secondary, and he at the end of this turn he did score another point for that. We're taking a look at those pikes. They're just going to take a shot into the squad of clones down that are contesting the on the ground. Looks like he got 1 hit, and cover saves him. So just a suppression on that. So those pikes are just weathering a lot, but that's what pikes do. Naked pikes show a lot of value because they are surprisingly hard to peel off, and so I think those are the. See, I think he's rallying. That was the bus. So the bus just healed Mando back with the backworld medic, and then but did not add any suppression. So it looks like that bus is going to charge forward to try to score some stuff. Is measuring. Yes, there's the beautiful mini back. Take a look at that from another angle. It's a nice looking bus, but it can be a little finicky to get back on there. Got it. Now the question is he going to drive that over to that point of interest down there? Or is it just sitting there? Is it... did the bus only do one thing? I missed what else it did. Oh, right, the heal is an action. I think he pulled some Mandos and is contemplating which Mandos to go with next. And it's gonna be... So yeah, those Mandos are now going to probably, I suppose, take some shots on... So move forward enough to take some shots on that Arc squad that only has 2 guys left, while staying contesting his back objective. If he can peel those off right now, that would be really big because, that would swing. That would definitely swing a point his way. If he could peel those arcs right now, then the Mandos could probably double speed 3 move over and contest, but it's not the greatest starting roll. Picks up another crit on the aim. Field 1 to cover. And ooh, that's not a great roll. I don't think he's going to have enough surge tokens to save that squad. Yeah. So that squad goes down. That means that Tim is no longer contesting that right objective. And we're going to see if Will is going to be able to double move his other squad of Mandos. If these guys can double speed 3 around and get contesting that, then that's going to be a pretty big point swing for Will. And by pretty big, I mean like 1 point, but you know. It's Tim losing out on a point and Will gaining another point, so.
We just had a really fun play from the field.
Oh.
Wheel by Grievous coming in against Bright Tree Village. Played Arboreal Assault, won the roll-off, hit Grievous, immobilized 9. Grievous can't move and do any overruns.
No, this is all stuff passed out.
So yeah, now Will is moving his Mandos forward to contest, and I think it's going to be pretty tough for Tim to pull this one out. I don't know if you heard Stephen coming and telling the story of some Bright Tree Village immobilizing the hell out of a Wheelbite Grievous and Wheelbite Grievous not being able to do anything, which I think is hilarious. Some bears doing some fun shenanigans against Wheelbite Grievous, because Wheelbite Grievous can just go die.
I mean, I know I'm not getting one point during that tournament. He looks at me, he's like, I'm like, no, we're not having fun.
Looks like we are off to the kind of Tim is out and Will is just doing his back pikes who are just dodging and standbying, and Yeah, because Anakin peeled, his attack only peeled away 2 pikes out of a naked squad of 4. That naked squad of pikes is getting a lot of value just for standing there and getting in the way of a lightsaber. Yeah, so Will has moved forward multiple Mandalorians to score objectives. And so, yeah, in this one, so it looks like right now Tim is going to score 2 points, and Will is going to score 3, if as things stand. Ooh, that's a good roll. Spends the aim, and that's a full boat into that squad. That's tough. We got the cover roll, average cover roll, peels away 2, and they're still looking at 6 to defend. That's kind of hard to see if there are a lot of surges happening there. Yeah, so that's the end of that round, and they are scoring up the points. So there, Will scores 3 points, and Tim only scores 2 at the end of the round. Going into round 4. So what we're looking at here is that while Will absolutely has the advantage in terms of firepower remaining, in terms of people able to score objectives, the one advantage Tim still has is he still has his secondary in play, and Will does not. Unless... it is still possible that Will could get those Mandalorians up to the second story there by that squad. So that the scanner, so Will's scanner dropped by that back squad of snipers right there. So he could hop the Mandalorians up if there's enough room and still contest. He could choose to hop the Mandalorians up, grab it, and then score a secondary point there. If he is able to do that before Tim grabs that secondary. So we have a push versus... This is where the fun begins. So, Tim will have priority. So Tim is activating his squad of that sniper squad. It looks like he is choosing to aim and shoot, not pick up that secondary. So that leaves the door open for Will to hop up there and grab it. After the aim, he does get the crit, and he chooses to cancel that to auto deal a wound to the Mandalorians and 2 suppression. Actually, it looks like he did pick up that. Oh, it looks like he did pick up that secondary marker last time, as he just marked it as scored. So he just scored the secondary objective there. So he's choosing to score it. That totally makes sense. You can remember you can only score it once per round, but scoring it as soon as possible always makes sense. The Mandalorians are going. They rally. No help from the rally. Since those Mandalorians rallied nothing off, they are suppressed, and they're just going to take an unaimed shot into that strike squad. Not bad for, pretty reasonable. The black didn't do great. So he did have an aim, but didn't take an aim. So he did have one aim, right, just from, I think, independent aim. Now we got 4 on the defense, and that's a really not what you want to see, and that's strike squad is dead. So both strike squads are dead. And it feels like they really didn't pull their weight much this game. They did force the Mandalorians to play cagey, definitely deploy more cagily than they might have liked. But again, as soon as they poked their head out and started to do anything, they just instantly died, which seems pretty traditional for those sniper squads. Looks like the 2 remaining clones over on that side are taking some shots onto the Mandalorians. So he shielded 2, got 3 hits, no help from cover, shielded 2, and still blanked 1. So that's a lot of dice to blank on to get 1 wound through. So that's 2 wounds and a lot of suppression on those Mandos. It does. It looks like that when that secondary dropped, it did get put closer towards those Mandalorians. That Will might be wanting to pick that back up, but I think Tim's going to try to prevent him. The pikes over on that squad just doing pike things, dodging standby to just, they don't have to do anything but just tie up Anakin. Because it's round 4 and Anakin has done, well, he contested an objective and killed 2 pikes so far. So Anakin has not done nearly as much as Maul. Maul, who has contested objectives and killed a total of, soaked up a lot of firepower and killed 2 full activations, 2 important activations, that large squad of ARFs and a 6-dude person of ARCs. Checking to see if a climb would be able to get him to contest that objective. It's close, but not quite. So he's going to have to take a double move instead. He wanted to probably wanted to move and shoot, but just double moves to be able to contest that objective, which is very important because that'll get him. Right now, he's still contesting 4 objectives. The question is, will those clone troopers down in the bottom left survive for very long? A lot will depend on how well those Mandalorians roll off. So the naked pikes are moving up to try to peel those guys off, or at least deal another wound. One hit into cover. No help on the cover. Rolling it on the red save. Oh, but they do roll that surge, and they had already used their reliable surge previously when they shot at the Mandalorians. So, one guy left on that squad, some Mandalorians who are really, really probably eager to kill them if they don't panic. So that suppression is stacking up quickly on Will. So, though Tim doesn't have very many units left, scoring-wise, he is being very efficient with them. They are all on different points, all contesting something, and that's the name of the game. That's all you need to do is just contest. And he is going to... Looks like that Mandalorian squad just went down, which is really helps Tim out for scoring that bottom left. Rex is going to have to survive a lot of firepower in that top right, though, to continue holding on to that, contesting that objective, though. Rex can definitely do it, but... And we're getting low on time. So Tim has a lead because of that secondary, so if he is able to hold onto that lead, then he might still pull this out. Tim passes because Will absolutely has the activation advantage.
Did you go?
So that's the capo back there just went, and looks like it just handed another dodge to those pikes on top of the building, forcing Anakin to go. The difficulty is, this is where the fun begins. It's not going to be able to use that very effectively. Well, peels those pikes off. So he can do two attack actions. Is jumping up to try to kill those pikes up top, but unfortunately, those pikes are loaded up on dodges. So only 3 of them hit, so it's not a great roll. 3 of them hit. He dodges 2 and loses 1 pike, meaning that he is not going to lose contesting that upper left objective this round. Will now on those Mandos on that right side, looks like he is he actually moving into contact? Base contact, or is he just moving up to deny cover? Looks like he's just moving up to deny cover.
Had a super attack for 3 moves up on it. I just self-destruct. Killed him back on one, I had 1 left, and I super attack at 3 left, and I rolled 3 searches. Self-destruct.
Oh, he's still my team heart. Oh yeah, I'm sure. Yo, I feel bad.
That's a very good roll. Very good roll from Rex.
So the squad has 17 hits.
You run these events and you go home and you're like,
She rolled 10 of them off.
that's not bad. But also it's like,
No, that's what I was saying. Was like, listen, like you don't know what weapons do. It's just a lot of it comes from experience. You wouldn't have done that right now. That's awesome. I was like, I don't like to boost myself up because but like you gotta really shave down the draw.
I was like, look, I'm just throwing you off. Well, every fresh like bullshit dice stuff.
Dice cams are notoriously finicky.
Over the top eight.
And so now it's just Will just unloading everything he's got into the remaining.
I'm excited to figure out.
Good a guess as anything. I'm hot right now.
Had not be like 3.5 months is
Yeah, Tim is ahead on points. And the way it is, he's still contesting 4, which is going to leave him ahead on points.
Round 2 at 1.
And it looks like Will is getting a bingo. Will just got a bingo. They're playing, or at least a bingo square. They are playing bingo, so certain events happen in the game, and you get to mark off various things on your bingo sheet, and if you get a bingo, then you get a prize. I think one of the things on the sheet was like have a single unit contesting 2 objectives, which the bus is easily able to do. And they are now at the end of the round, and they will both score 4 points. Sorry, they will both score. Sorry, I misspoke. They will both score 3 points, and they will move into round 5. So this will be the final round. So they are. So going into the final round, this actually could get tricky for Will to pull out. He's going to have to find a way to get an extra point, which means he's going to have to kill something. He's going to have to start peeling Tim off those remaining objectives, which means he's got. There are several vulnerable ones, but Tim's actually a surprisingly good position. This guy is the easiest one to peel off, but he's got not a lot that can actually shoot him. These pikes might be in range. These pikes are tied up with Anakin, and Anakin will probably wipe them. But even when these upper left pikes get wiped, there is a capo hiding behind this building, so that capo will easily be able to double move and contest that. So Will is not in danger of losing this. But the puzzle for Will is going to be where can he pull Tim off of another objective? Because Tim is going to get his secondary. Oh, they're... No, at the end of the round. they're having a discussion. So
That's amazing. It's wild. You never treated it. I don't think I've ever had that played against me in my life. It's great.
Fucking built by Grievous. If you have to make it to a lot lane and you have the scouts and you assault, I two-shot him. I ran out and shot him, and then I often gave priority aim and shot him. Built by Grievous is so much more about what the flags.
yeah, they're just looking again at.
You can stop the training your Jedi outfits together. He's not worth his points. Alright,
So you know, time is hidden, and there's variable. So this is not exactly accurate.
I know. Okay. And stream those too. So Tim. So you see. So the question is, Tim does activate, and he scores his secondary. That gets him to 12, but they still play to the end of the round. So even though 12 points is what's needed to win, you don't immediately win just by hitting 12. You have to get to the end of the round and still be ahead. And that's going to be the trick for Tim, and that's going to be the puzzle that Will's going to have to find out. Will is going to... So, yeah, Tim is going to get his secondary. And Will is not. So Will needs to find another point here. He's going to have to get 2 extra points on the primary. One to score the... Actually, unless actually Will might actually be able to get... No, he doesn't look like he's doing it. Unless... Okay, so actually Will was able to pick up the scanner from the dead arcs. So that squad of Mandos in the middle does have that scanner, so Will is also able to score the secondary. So Tim gets to 12, Will gets to 11 because they both just scored the secondary. And so Will is going to have to find a way to pick up an extra point on the primary.
It's like the only other. I didn't really have the reaction. I don't have the reaction, so like. And a reminder that the timer on the screen is not entirely accurate. We are playing with variable time, so there's a secret amount of variability that we don't know here. That is just to keep players from playing to the time and being able, trying to run out the clock when it is advantageous for them. So Will is doing some point accounting. He's going to have to So he is very much ahead on the victory on kill points right now. So he's just gonna have to tie. Anakin just cleans up those pikes. Anakin hops down behind that building to just hide behind that building while still contesting that point. But a reminder that Will, you probably can't see it, but Will does have another capo hiding up here that shouldn't have any problem either getting around the building or however he chooses. So yeah, Will is actually going to have a very tricky time pulling one more unit off of Tim's points, and he's got to manage it to find that extra point somehow. Now he's firing at that squad that's still contesting that middle point, and Tim's defense dice are just hanging in there. Oh boy. I think. Yeah, because Will no longer has to contest that upper left objective. He's got 4 other that he's contesting. So he's really, really going hard. I think he's going to be able to manage to do it just on suppression. Because that unit is up to 3 suppression, and at 4 suppression, it'll panic and no longer score. So as long as Will can find one more unit to shoot it, it will panic. So the question is going to be, can that right squad of Mandalorians actually get over there to shoot them. That's going to be, I'm not sure that's going to be possible. But I think the game hinges on whether or not he can. Mandalorians are aiming and punching at Rex. Now, if Rex dies here, then that makes things a lot easier for Will. But that is yet another very good defense roll. So, end of time, end of regular time has been called. Will is looking for just one more unit to be able to shoot that squad. And it's those I think it comes down to those right Mandos of whether or not they can get in there. And I don't think they're going to be able to. I don't think they're going to be able to move far enough, get in range 2, and shoot those guys. Because that's the only squad that hasn't gone. If he can just get one more suppression, he wins the game. If not, he doesn't, and I don't think he's going to be able to. But it is coming down to it. It is coming down very close. Because I don't think those Mandalorians have used their rockets yet. So really all he has to do is just get, if they haven't used their rockets, which I don't know if they have. So that final squad of Mandos has not used their rockets, but the difficulty is they're trying to figure out how he can get line of sight. Wrong button. That's the right button. So they're trying to see if you can get line of sight to this unit back here from over here. And it looks like it's not happening. So, so the regular time has expired, and so it is just finish up the round they are on and score it there. But they are on round 5 anyway, so it would have been the last round of the game anyway. And they've hit 12 points, so it also would have been the last round of the game anyway. So for 3 different reasons, this is the last round of the game. I think they're calling it. And I think it goes to Tim. One suppression. So, he just needed to get one more shot to get that extra suppression on that center squad, and that would have been the game, but he couldn't manage it. I think Will has conceded. It is 12-11 in an incredibly close game that Tim hung on with the skin of his teeth with some very, very good defensive rolls there at the end of the game. But anyway, so So never mind. They don't actually have the rockets anymore. So it was just a trying to get line of sight and range 3 was the conundrum that he couldn't manage line of sight and range 3. So that is game. It scores 15-14 in favor of Tim. What we saw definitely there is some, Tim lost pretty much all of his units, but there at the end there he was very, very efficient with the units that he had left, able to get every single one of them contesting a different objective. And just a lot of them hanging on barely. This unit down here has one guy left. This unit over here is one suppression away from panicking. This Rex boy over here, well, he just rolled saves like a god. So that was incredibly close. Right. Well, I'm going to take a break here, and we will be back over lunch to show off some of the painting stream contenders. See you, and then we will come back and probably I'll double check what time and let you guys know we will be back from lunch. So I'm going to go check what time we'll be back from lunch and let you guys know, and then we'll take a bit of a break. Thank you. Round 2 pairings will happen at 1 Mountain Time, and over lunch, we will take a look at the painting entries as well. So, stick around for that, but right now we're going to take a little bit of a break. Thanks for showing up.